Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. All right, fam. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Big ups to the flock. Appreciate you guys being on the live stream for this one. As we get going, saw we rolled in a little late, man. I had some things I had to do, family related, but everything is a go now. I appreciate you guys being here and holding true to the form. So much love to the flock. I salute the flock. Big ups to you guys, and thank y'all for being here in the live stream. I'm Big Q chiming in this version of the Pelican post-game report, man. We're going to talk about, in this episode, Willie Green, the latest on him. I'm going to play a few videos for you guys. Also giving some insight about Willie Green as well. I'm going to play a little bit of that today as well. So I'd like to welcome in my dog and co-host, DC. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome back.
What's good? What's good? What's up, flockers? What's happening with y'all?
Big ups to the entire flock, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, sorry we're getting going a little later than what we want to do, but it couldn't be helped tonight. But I just want to make sure I make it up to you guys by letting y'all know that we will be doing another Pelican post-game report Saturday. What is it, DC? Afternoon. We'll be doing another one.
Nah, not Saturday afternoon. We could do one. I told you about 8:00, maybe Saturday night.
Saturday night. Okay. DC says Saturday. Good. All right. So Saturday night, we'll do a reactionary stream where we'll open up the chat for the family members to chime in as well, so we can get that good work in there as well. So I'd like to thank all the family members for tuning in for the show tonight as we get going. Now, the topic of the show is potential Willie Green signing the Lonzo Ball update.
Potential.
You never know until it's official. We talk about the Pelicans after all, DC, but it is. You guys confirm or say I confirm or deny nothing, my friend.
Man, they already celebrating in Phoenix, Big Q.
You don't never know what they celebrating.
They was Ron Willie Green in the press circle and clapping. What else could they be celebrating?
Oh man,
Devin Booker that came out and told us he gonna be an amazing coach for us.
Well, listen, fam, bro, I don't have that much confidence in David Griffin.
The ink dry on that contract, bro. They just waiting to show it to the world.
We'll hope you're right on that, DC, but we're gonna make sure we get that. So more than likely, it'll probably be sometime tomorrow to make it official. But anyway, we're gonna cover some news and notes on them items today in the stream, fam. So I'm gonna share some Willie Green information with your family members as well as we start to show off with it. And of course, as you can see on the screen, Doc Rivers. They talk about Doc Rivers confident that Willie can take the Pelicans to the next level.
Right.
He just has that rare thing. So we're going to cover this article as well. And we're going to talk about this as well. Now, and this was a really interesting article, DC, because what Doc Rivers was saying is that team really didn't like, they Chris Paul didn't get along with most of those guys on their squad. We knew a lot of that was going on. But the one constant thing that was kind of keeping harmony in the locker room was Mr. Willie Green. And that seems to be one of his really good points of being who he is. So we're going to get into this article. We're going to cover some of this article today, family. We're going to also cover another article that I have here. We'll talk about a little Lonzo Ball news as well. And before we get into this article, I want to be able to spin for the family members and show that little video that DC was talking about, in which the Pelicans, you see the Phoenix Suns encircling Mr. Willie Green, in the congratulatory motion. So, I'm going to show, for those who hadn't seen that, give me a second and I'm going to key it up so the family members can see that Willie Green this. And I think here it is right here. As you can see, Doc Rivers there. Let me make sure you guys can hear it, because he doesn't talk. I don't think he says much in there though, DC. I don't think
they're talking, but you can't
understand it. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, let me see if I can share that audio with the stream. They're having problems right here. Hold on here. All right, hold on. Okay, fam, we're gonna try this again. All right. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear. All right, here we go. And that's probably when Willie told him he's going to be a head coach right there. And they all clapping it up for him. Etwan Moore don't seem like he happy for him.
Chris Paul was happy, not happy. He said he didn't want him to go, bro.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him, though.
They love him, bro. You heard?
Okay, you heard that.
You got the job?
He shook his head and said yes. So there you go. All right. All right, so there it is.
Devin Booker told it all, Big Q. You got to play the Devin Booker interview, bro.
Well, I mean,
he gave us a coaching breakdown, bro. Told us what we was getting.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up at some point or another there, DC.
Chris Paul too, brother.
But let's go ahead on and get into that, my friend. Let's get up into that and talk about that. What this means for the Pelicans, as you heard him, you got the job, and he kind of shook his head. You got that, brother. So I mean, with that being said, DC, Willie Green, unofficially official, I guess we can term it, man. Willie Green is going to be your next coach, man. You excited about that?
I love it, Q, because out of all the options, I mean, I honestly feel like he's the best option for the situation we got going on. Not that I think Jacques Vaughn would have been a bad coach, or even Charles Lee. He might be a good coach too. But Willie Green, I think it just all fit, bro. From what we trying to build, from the fact that Sam Mitchell, they talking about coming on the coaching staff. Sam Mitchell didn't coach Zion already. You know what I'm saying? Why your eyes big like that, bro? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Sam Mitchell,
bro. They're going to pull him off NBA TV and put him on the coaching staff, bro.
I don't know.
That's what I'm hearing.
Did Zion like Sam Mitchell? Because based on what I was looking at with Sam Mitchell, does he like him?
I think so. Sam Mitchell had a good understanding of who Zion was, and I remember there was an old interview. Somebody put it on Twitter, and I watched that live on NBA TV, and that was probably like 2019. Sam Mitchell was talking about Zion being Point Zion before we ever did it.
So you got perhaps Stan Van Gundy over there kind of getting some ideas. So it didn't originate with Stan Van Gundy. So we can't give him credit for Point Zion in the Pelican
So
building.
therefore,
But he really
Stan
didn't do
Van
a
Gundy
damn
is
thing.
unmemorable, like we've said other shows.
Well,
You can't give credit for that
you
shit.
remember the coach that the Giants had? And Stephen A. Smith, one of the funniest things he ever said is that the guy would only be known for having slick back hair. Remember
Oh,
the guy?
that's what I was gonna say. I remember that guy. Yeah, it was all shiny. Yeah,
He said
he had the
something.
good moves. I don't even remember his name. That's a
I
goddamn
don't remember
shame
the guy
too.
with the slick back
I
hair. He
remember the
ain't doing
slick
a
back
damn
hair
thing.
though. I remember
He ain't
that.
doing a damn thing.
I
He didn't
remember
do a
that
damn
slick back
thing.
hair, boy.
But yeah, but
I,
what would
I
he
said,
be?
boy, he'd have rolled right back into the '90s. Remember, that was in the '90s, though. Yeah, a lot of our little Caucasian brothers. You know, they had the little slick back thing, and that's when I learned about moose. They were telling me what moose was and all that. Q, when the wind blow, it don't move. It's like,
That
what?
boy.
That
That
shit
it's like
powerful.
magic. It's like magic. Hey, nothing but a freeze perm, man. What you talking about? All right, let's move on, man. Doc Rivers confident Willie Green can take the Pelicans to the next level. DC, let's crack this one down here. This is coming from Christian Clark over at the NOLA.com, the Times Picayune site, and it says Lob City Clippers locker room could be a contentious place. Those teams which feature Chris Paul at point guard, Blake Griffin at power forward, DeAndre Jordan at center were loaded with talent, but dealt with infighting even while they were winning. Doc Rivers took over as coach in 2013. There was one player he felt he could always count on to be a bomb, backup guard Willie Green.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was not a great locker room, just had some personalities that didn't get along. But the one guy that the whole group did listen to was Willie. He wasn't the best player. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even playing much by then, but he had a way about himself. 41st pick of the 2003 draft. Willie was in his 11th season of a 12-year NBA. I mean, 11th season of a 12-year NBA playing career. He had come into the league as Allen Iverson's teammate on the Sixers and stuck around ever since. Pierce praised him for his steadiness. What Rivers noticed was Green's ability to be honest in a way that never felt abrasive. He just has a rare thing, Doc Rivers said, the ability to tell you the straight truth without offending you. They are not a lot. He said there are not a lot of people like that on Earth like that. Being PC. Later this month, Green is expected to take over. That's what the hell it is, right? Later this month, Green is expected to take over as the
He's
eighth
a
coach.
wonderful human, Q.
Oh man, he got to be. In New Orleans Pelicans franchise history, Green Phoenix Suns. He said Green's Phoenix Suns are tied with the Bucks 2-2 in NBA Finals, and once the series concludes, an official announcement should come shortly thereafter. A league source said Rivers, who just wrapped up his first season with the Sixers, said he's not surprised his former player is about to join the head coaching ranks. Rivers told Green he was the NBA coaching material in the one season they spent together with the Clippers. And when Green retired in 2015, Rivers unsuccessfully tried to bring him aboard as an assistant. And Coach Rivers said, I offered him a job. He was smart enough to take the Golden State job instead.
Didn't he say the man couldn't be a coach? And then he offered him a job?
I think they offered what? He could
He
be.
said something about him not being able to be a coach. I thought
No,
earlier
he
in the
said,
article.
no, he said he could be a coach. I might have misread it, my friend, but I think he said he
That's all
did.
right, brother. I ain't trying to trip you up.
They think they offered him more money. He said, I think they offered him more money, everything else. Listen, I've been coaching for 20 years. Sound like Gentry right there. There are four players that, as I was coaching them, I told them, whenever you want to cross to the dark side, you have a job. Now, why
God
the hell would he
damn,
phrase
Dodge
it like
Henry.
that? You know?
I
Well, I
wouldn't
guess he
want
was
for you to tell me some shit like that.
yeah, hey, that was kind of that stuck out to me too. One was former Hornets Pelicans coach Monty Williams, whose sons are two ways to win from the. I mean, this is amazing. Man just got out there and won the first championship. Another was Ty Lue, who won the title with Cleveland in 2016, and now is regarded as one of NBA's premier coaches.
I got some people on this coaching
You
tree,
do.
huh?
Rivers said he believed Green had the right mix of basketball IQ and emotional intelligence to one day make the transition. Green worked for 3 years under Steve Kerr in Golden State, a stretch in which the Warriors went to the finals 3 times and won 2 championships. He then accepted the job to be Williams' lead assistant and assistant coach in Phoenix. Paul, the Suns' star point guard, said he and Green are like brothers. Paul Rivers said was incensed when the Warriors beat the Clippers out to hire Green as the assistant. He says, I'm a little biased, said Chris Paul before game 4 on Wednesday. That's my guy right there. That's just not my teammate. That's a brother to me. I know he deserves it. He'll be the most humble, prepared coach you've ever seen in your life. That's big praise.
Yeah.
Once talk broke down with Brooklyn, Nets assistant Jock Vaughn, the Pelicans set their sights on Green. The 39-year-old is significantly younger than his two predecessors. Gentry was 66, Stan was 61, and unlike them, he has NBA playing experience. Green's reputation for building strong relationships wherever he went was a major reason New Orleans was attracted to him. Rivers said he is confident Green can get the most out of the talented but young and unproven New Orleans team. And of course, this was said, there are just certain people who have a way of telling you a thing you need to hear, and instead of you reacting to it, you're accepting it, Rivers said, and Willie is in that group. So high praise from Doc Rivers, from Chris Paul, about
Devin
Mr.
Booker.
Devin Booker also said some great things as well about this brother right here, Willie Green, who is unofficially, the Pelicans' new coach, DC. Well said. Well, pretty good article there, my man.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers and them sentiments, Willie Green, and scheme fit, the ability to talk to these guys, because I think that's what Stan Van Gundy was missing big time. His message getting on through
That's
to
the
these
most
guys.
important thing for a head coach, man.
That's it. Let's add to that, my friend. As I will then, I'm a while you're breaking that down, I'm gonna get this interview tuned up for Willie Green so we can hear a little bit more of his philosophy. So you can go into it.
Yeah, man. I mean, Willie Green, man, they all got excellent stuff to say about him, and I think that's a good sign because Doc Rivers, he got enough to be worrying about with Philly. They trying to figure out where the hell they sending Ben Simmons.
Right.
That's a tall task over there.
Is that
And,
official?
what?
The Ben Simmons thing, is that official? They trying to really move him? Is that
Come on,
serious?
man. The writing on the wall, bro. I mean, read the tea leaves, as you say. Like it's out there. Q.
How about
The,
smoke signals?
the smoke signals. Minnesota
Do you read
was.
smoke signals?
Yeah, I'm an Indian. Blah, blah, blah.
No, you ain't no Indian. And that ain't the type of smoke I'm talking about.
But the
Just kidding.
Minnesota Timberwolves, man, they had some draft workouts and they was caught talking to Philly, and it's a rumor going out that they want Ben Simmons real bad, bro. Ben Simmons and I think D'Angelo Russell played ball together at some point in time, so that's like a thing. And they already got Big Cat over there, D'Lo and Big Cat cool, so they trying to put some version of a big three together. And I ain't gonna lie, that would be a real good team for him to go to, honestly, because I think he would fit those two guys. But there's some talk with the Dame thing about the Blazers. Heard rumors about that. There's been rumors about the Warriors trying to get Ben Simmons forever. That's fired up again. If Philly want to go somewhere, they gonna have to move Ben Simmons, man. I mean, you see them fans, bro. The fans are gonna crucify Ben Simmons, bro. He can't go back after those playoffs. He probably can't walk around the city.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. And you talking about Philly. Philly is a rough town to play for. They're pretty rough people up there when it come down to the sports teams. And when Philadelphia,
But when
my
they
goodness,
love you, they love you, though, boy.
yeah, they do. When they
When
don't
they
like
love you,
your
they
ass,
love you.
they're gonna run you up out of town.
Almost like a baby New York situation with
It's
them.
terrible, man. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, the truth is, you're absolutely right. I think that Willie Green, you know, I just the connections to Phoenix. Anyway,
No. You said it wrong, bro. The connections to what?
the Phoenix.
You ain't say it right. That ain't how you say that.
Oh man, come on.
Man, when you say it, you be like Phoenix, Arizona. You gotta do your thing, man. What you doing? Yeah, you gotta do that too. You gotta do that, son.
Why I gotta say that, bro?
Cause you got the commentator chops, man. You got it. What's the other way you say it? I cracks me up
Phoenix,
every
Arizona.
time
All
I hear
right,
you say this one. Demario Davis. I like this dude, man. This dude here. This dude, Big Q, man.
the
You can't be
spirit
wasting
touches
that
me.
talent, bro. You gotta pull it out every chance you
All
get.
right, okay, DC. The connections to
I can't do it. That's you. Big Q, the connections to.
Phoenix, Arizona.
There you go, bro. It sounded a little forced, but we gonna roll with it.
That's what it was for. Hell, I ain't want to do it. But anyway, they went up there. Now let me ask this question. I'm gonna play Willie Green. I'm gonna pose it to the flock. Much love to the flock. What do you guys think about this? Now truly, is this a Trajan Langdon hire? More Trajan Langdon than anybody, DC? Do
I'm
we do?
sorry, I was reading the Lee Goods message. He said he about to be sending them smoke signals.
He got the message. He got the memo.
What was the question, brother?
The question is, well, I mean, the certainty is this more of a Trajan hire than Griffin hire?
Hell yeah. Come on, man. We all know Trajan got some sense. You know, that's why we be beating up on him and saying he need to be this and be that, because you could clearly look at the brother and go through some of his catalog and see Trajan actually has a good brain. But the Pelicans, for whatever reason, the last
Thank you,
2 years
James.
decided not to use it. So they let him do his thing, man. And, you know, I think this is going to be a success, bro.
Well,
I'm
we have
I'm,
to
I'm
see.
excited. I'm really excited. And unlike you, I actually like the fact that Sam Mitchell could be a part of the coaching staff. You don't
Well,
sound too happy about that.
no,
I guess you think about his stints with Toronto
in
and
Minnesota. No,
Minnesota. Yeah,
he's Sam. I ain't have a problem with Sam. Sam's an old school coach, man. He bring that old
yeah,
school
but he ain't got the Van
NBA
Gundy thing
wisdom.
though.
No, Sam he'll be able to
Cool.
reach it because he comes across as a basketball grandpa. That's
Right.
how Sam Mitchell comes
Cool.
across.
He's stern, but
Sam,
he cool.
yeah, right. But Sam is a player who played in the league. He has some sex. He's success. He's not a head coach. I mean, he had failed stints there, but as an assistant coming in there, Willie Green, that's absolutely that works. But where does Vincent fits in there and T Witherspoon?
T Spoon, I think actually has dealings with either Sam Mitchell or Willie Green.
Because the
There's one of them
rumors
she's
are
cool with. That
rumors
she out?
are no rumors are Vincent and
And
T
Teaspoon
Witherspoon
back.
was supposed to be in that mix along with his staff.
Yeah, yeah. I heard the same thing. So you get them, you get Sam Mitchell, man. Who we got? I wonder if we keeping Bob Byers and man, y'all can't do that. Trajan was out at a finals game. Well, not the final. That wasn't the finals game, but he was out at a playoff game in Phoenix with Brandon Ingram. He had to be talking. He took
Such
his
ball.
mime. He took his mime costume off. Q. He was talking.
Did he? Oh,
He
I
was
don't
talking to
believe it.
Brandon Ingram at least. He had
I
to
don't.
talk to Willie Green.
I don't believe it.
So he
He
had a
was making
he had a translator.
no smoke signals and hand signals.
I hear you, brother.
But hey, man. But anyway, fam, let me play this for y'all, fam. We're gonna play a bit of Willie Green for you, and then we'll cover the Lonzo Ball news as well. So, family, if y'all have any questions that y'all want to throw out to us, me and DC will get to as many of them as we can within the summation of this show. And we'll keep this thing moving. And remember, like I said, we'll have a reactionary show where we open up the chat tomorrow night for the flock. It'll be a little earlier. That way we can get more people involved. We won't have to be as late. And people be,
Tasha said you praise dancing. I guess she's talking about when you do. You belong on a praise team with that one, dog.
all right, here we go.
We fall down, but we get up.
Nah, is that it, DC, or is it?
Man,
Is it that?
every church I done been to, and they do the praise team, brother, and the little dance thing. They gonna play that song.
We fall down and then we get up.
Yeah,
Donnie McClurkin.
That's a hit, boy.
All right. Okay, I got you, brother. All right, y'all put one in the chat. Here's Willie Green breaking down some game. Y'all put one in the chat. If y'all can hear that, then we'll bounce it to some more news. Here we go.
Come in, and they're high character guys. They work extremely hard. They care about each other. And I thought we were able to see that in the bubble. And they came back with a different motivation.
Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Outlet Podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Smith, and today our guest is the NBA 2020 Bubble Spike Ball champion and Phoenix Suns assistant coach, Willie Green. Willie, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. How have you been?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. And as you can see, we're here in Madhouse and just getting a little work in with the guys, but I'm doing great overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool to see how quickly everyone kind of wanted to get back to work post-bubble play. What do you think that says about what you guys built in the bubble and how the future of this team is looking?
Well, I think, first starting with the bubble, I thought it was great for us as an organization, as a staff, for our young guys, for our players. We were able to build a lot of momentum. Collectively, our guys, I felt, just took a step forward in their maturity level. And I think one of the reasons that we're eager to get back is twofold. One, the bubble, the momentum we had, but also just what's going on in the world today. It was rewarding. And I say rewarding because we had a chance to do something miraculous in the bubble that not many people expected. And it's rewarding to put in that type of work, starting with a new team, organization, just kind of building the momentum, building the foundation, and to finish that part of our season with such a positive momentum. So it was rewarding. Our guys, to their credit, they all come in and they're high character guys. They work extremely hard. They care about each other. And I thought we were able to see that in the bubble. And they came back with a different motivation. And that shot, along with a number of other games, big games from other players on our team, we were able to see the excitement and the joy that they had for one another. And that's rewarding as a coach to be able to see that.
Yeah. Deep care from him.
Well, Monty started with me early. I came in as a rookie and we were together. We played together with the Sixers. And he was really tough on me as a rookie starting off. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why is this guy always on me about being on time and tuck my shirt in and this? And as I got to know him, I knew he was coming from a place of love. And then years later, I had an opportunity to play for him as the head coach in New Orleans. And the same thing, he was even better. He's just a loving man, loving family. And, whatever he does, he's always coming from a place of love. And then I had the blessing of working for Steve Kerr, and he's very similar. He can get on guys, but it's all coming from a good place. And I think, those type of people make great coaches.
How has your relationship with Monty evolved this year? Because like you said, teammates, and then you were his player, and now you guys are coaching together. What does that evolution look like as coaches?
Well, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come and take on this challenge. Is I wanted to do it with someone that, I kind of grew up watching and learning under. And he's on me to be better, and I want him to be on me to be better as a coach, to be better in my preparation, but more importantly, to be better as a man. And that's where Monty is just, he's great. And we challenge each other. There's some times that I got to call him up, as he'll say. But for the most part, I'm just sitting back, I'm learning, I'm watching, and it's been fun.
I love how he's got very specific wording for things that is inclusive, and you can tell that it, again, comes from a place of love, like calling up or calling in instead of calling someone out. He's got so many of those, and I really enjoy throughout the season when I kind of pick up on just kind of where those come from and the reasoning behind them. I think they're super cool. One thing that I thought was interesting was Monty had complete faith in you from the jump. I mean, you came in and you were the head coach of the Summer League team. How much did that play into your success this season, knowing that you had his full faith?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm still learning. And, I'm not afraid to admit that I don't know everything. And I think Monty has faith that he knows I'll figure it out eventually. But it's so much to learn, and there's so many guys in this league that's really at a high level. And I'm just taking little nuggets from everyone and trying to continue to establish who I am and what I want to be in the future as a coach. But it feels good to know that you're coming in with somebody that believes in you, for sure.
Suns fans, we all have the power to help stop bullying. And muststopbullying.org has a lot of information.
With Sean Livingston, they kind of grew up together, and anybody that Sean Livingston vouches for has to be great. And so I know he was in Minnesota. He was with Tibbs' staff. He was also with Coach Saunders' staff. So I'm looking forward to learning from him and watching, some things that I can take from him and just grow together. And then Kevin, same thing, coming from Philly. He was in the G League for a few years and then worked his way up. being with Brett Brown and his staff, and I've just heard tremendous things from both of those guys, and we're all excited to have them.
We can see the cohesiveness around the coaching staff and all of you guys, but that also has to extend into the players. How have you built relationships with these young guys on this team over the year?
Well, I think the bubble was
This is the crucial one.
The cap. You know, we were able to spend so much time together. You know, you hate to use the word forced, but it was sort of forced time. But it was great for us. You know, we got a chance to play ping pong and spike ball and hang out at the pool, eat dinners and lunches and breakfasts together. And that's how you build that relationship. You know, you sit down, you learn about where guys are from, the culture that they come from. We got guys from different countries and just how things are done. And, you know, along with what's going on here in this country. And so it was just a good time for us to just take it all in. And we came out, I feel like we came out of it a stronger group.
Yeah,
I wish we would have did that. I wish we would have did that, DC. I wish we would have did that as a team, bro. We'd have stepped up.
Miss Benson brought some gumbo, bro.
It worked in the wrong effect, though.
Did it? Boy, what they put in that gumbo, man?
Man, that what they don't know what happened with that.
Oh.
But that is true. The bubble year was a springboard year for the Suns, and look where they are right now.
They went 8-0 in the bubble, man. They
How about that?
Lights out. But somebody put in the chat he's a tough what he said, a version of Sean Payton. Something
that was James saying that, and that was a real interesting
I was like,
one, man.
I don't know, James.
That was
but after
interesting.
he said that, well, yeah, we played ping pong together. I'm like, damn, that do sound like the Saints.
No, but that's actually a pretty good comment.
He's gonna bring some fun. He gonna bring some fun to him, bro. Like, you know, they gonna get the work, but it sound like he's obviously a player's coach because he was a player, but they not gonna be all rigid and uptight, man. Last year the Pelicans just looked too tense, like they just wasn't enjoying basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You could see that.
They was in the locker room, they'll be laughing, and then Stan Van Gundy, come on, guys, we gotta get to the X's and O's, and we need to get it out with defense. We gotta go over it and figure out how we gonna build this fucking wall tomorrow. Come on, guys.
It's like,
why aren't y'all moving? You know what? You're not winners. You gotta be a winner. In order to be a winner, you gotta build a fucking wall. Now go get a brick and bring it to half court. And we're gonna do suicides. And we're gonna build a wall on each side of the floor.
Why is Stan 2 or 3 levels octaves higher than what he usually is? Why the hell is he?
Because that's how he is in practice, bro. We hearing the mild version of him when he do the interviews. But when he be in practice, he sounds straight like Gilbert Gottfried.
Why does he sound like that goddamn parrot from Aladdin? You know, that's exactly who he sounds like. But anyway, DC, let's make the jump here, man. To the Lonzo Ball news. Of course, there's a couple of articles coming out. This is one of the sorts about the Bulls, Clippers reportedly among teams interested in Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, of course, a lot of people also considering and thinking that Lonzo Ball could possibly not come back to the Pelicans. We know that Lonzo wants to come back. We know to a degree the Pelicans want him back. We know the more important thing is that Zion and the rest of the stars on the team want Lonzo Ball back in the building. And that is a big thing, especially if you're trying to keep Zion from leaving. So let's look at this article right here. It says, Pelicans appear ready to let Lonzo Ball walk in restricted free agency. I don't know who, and this is by Aaron Ross of Yardbarkers saying this. According to Stadium Sham Sharania, the Pelicans will not match any significant offer sheet that comes Ball's way this summer. The Bulls and the Clippers are among teams interested in point guard, and in the point guard, according to Sharania adds. And I think, and here's him right here. I'll play that momentarily. I have to get the sound in there. But moving Ball this summer will likely not make superstar Zion Williamson too happy. The 21-year-old referred to Ball during exit interviews as a generational talent. Brandon Ingram added that he really wanted Ball to return next season. Previous reports indicated the Pelicans would not offer Ball more than $18 million annually. But California native market could potentially be in the 20 million per range. Chicago has been heavily linked to Ball over the last several months. During the season, the Pelicans and Bulls have held trade discussions leading up to the deadline that never materialized into anything serious. Still, Chicago's interests remain, and the Bulls have enough cap space to make a deal happen. Los Angeles has expressed interest in Ball at the trade deadline, but was unable to put an offer that interested the Pelicans. In order to sign Ball, the Clippers would need to work a signing trade because they do not have enough cap space to sign him in free agency. Ball had the best season of his career in 21 campaign, averaging a career high 14.6 points a game, almost 5 rebounds, almost 6 assists, while shooting 41.4% from the field and almost 38% from downtown. DC, what's up?
Man, I think everybody's hearing this and like, oh, Lonzo gone, he out of here. I think this is a good sign. I think all of this news shows that they probably getting interest for Lonzo Ball, but not at the price that they would want. And it sounds like posturing to me to just like bring this up and right now, like the Knicks, they started talking about trying to get Colin Sexton, and then boom, here come this story. You know what I'm saying? Chicago ain't got no money. Chicago ain't got no they can't pay him 23, 25 million and all that. They got Vujicic and they got what your boy is over there, man? Zach LaVine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They paying them dudes, man. They ain't, if they pay Lonzo Ball 23, 24 million, they ain't gonna have enough money to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be stuck with them 3 guys. I don't see them trying to give him the type of money where, it's something the Pelicans wouldn't match. If somebody throw 20 mil at him, I think that's probably the highest offer he'll get. And I think the Pelicans probably would match that. We already came out and said we want to pay 18 mil for him, right?
Right.
So why are we talking about now we won't make a significant? It just sounds stupid. It don't even sound like nothing that the Pelicans said. So yeah, and then look, Zach LaVine making $18 million. So Lonzo Ball gonna come over there and get paid more than Zach LaVine? Really? Who believe in that? You know what I'm saying? Well, we can't pay Lonzo more than Zach. We got to give Zach LaVine a restructure. And then we go pay Lonzo Ball $23 million. And while we paying Vujicic 150, 60 million. Yeah, we're just where all this money coming from? The Lakers want him. The Lakers, they just showed you what they're gonna pay him. They're gonna give him what, 4 years, 84 million.
Well, that's not
If that. And I don't even think they'll give him Lonzo Ball that. I don't know if they value him that high. The Clippers, what money they got? They better figure out how they could sign Kawhi Leonard because they medical staff that messed up. Kawhi ass might be out of there. You think they want Lonzo Ball if Kawhi gone? They gonna be trying to shoot for the stars.
Yeah, those Los Angeles teams, man, they are really in
They
tough
want
straits
everybody,
right
Q.
now. I know
They want everybody. I'm
they
like,
delusional.
it's gluttons, bro.
I know they
The
delusional.
people over there, y'all gonna see when Dame, LeBron, and AD play together. Man, will somebody please tell these people they ain't got no more damn draft picks? What y'all gonna get Dame with? Like, we got all y'all draft picks.
They're gonna phantom draft picks. That's what they're gonna give you. It's paid with Hollywood money.
They talking about Kyle Kuzma and Schroeder. They trying to send off people who they ain't even on the damn team. The dude, a free agent. They talking about Kyle Kuzma and Dennis Schroeder. Man, these people.
Let's listen to what Sharania says about the Lonzo Ball situation. DC, I got the audio tuned up. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear
what
this.
can you tell us about Lonzo Ball and his trade value market, because he's entering as a restricted free agent?
Yeah, Ball will have several teams interested in him, among them the Bulls and the Clippers. And I'm told if there's a significant offer sheet put down on Lonzo Ball, the Pelicans are unlikely to match. And so that opens up the well a little bit for outside suitors to get in on Lonzo Ball. He's a guy that averaged a career high in points, 3-point shooting upwards of 37% from 3-point range this year. So he's a guy that's improving. He makes a lot of sense for the Bulls. The Bulls did pursue him at the trade deadline this past year, and there is expected to be interest this offseason as well for Lonzo Ball.
Pat, do you agree with this assessment for the Pelicans with Lonzo Ball?
Well, I mean, it's a dangerous game. We've seen how hard it is to fill that point guard position with guys that can shoot the three, who are big, who can defend. that pass as well as Lonzo does and takes care of the ball. So, it's a little bit surprising that they aren't trying to shoo away suitors with putting a message out there that he's highly valued and they're going to do everything they can to bring him back. So it'll be interesting to see. I really agree with Shams. So he is a valuable player to a lot of teams.
Sounds a bit DC like some of his agent playing there, trying to drive up that value.
Right.
So
look. The Bulls' current salary cap is like what, -$66 million? Like, why are they getting this money? When did this become the NFL? And they got Kyrie on their team, bro, doing the numbers. Like,
very interesting.
Right. Like, I know that they can't have -$66 million, but just to give you an idea, like they don't have the money. The most they probably could do is $20 million. I think maybe the Bulls figure out a way to do that. And in that case, like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the Pelicans probably would still match. And all of this is just to try to drive his numbers up, because maybe what the projections are out there is 15, 16 million a year. And, Lonzo Ball team ain't liking that. So they're trying to drive the numbers up, bro.
That's exactly what he's trying to do. And it's kind of it's really clear of what he's doing, because it's come along right at this juncture. So, right. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. So Willie Green, that's the biggest part of the game. The two big questions that we had going into to finish up was the fact that Willie Green is now the coach of the Pelicans, not unofficially. Of course, and then Inside Baseball, we just covered some of it on the article.
Keep our ear to the streets. It's official over here, Big Q.
I hear what you're saying. But I'm just saying at the top that
a lot could happen. I know.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they'll make the announcement. Word on the street is they're supposed to make the announcement official after the playoffs is over with. Then they'll have all of the pomp and circumstance that come with hiring. Very interesting comment that James made about them picking up Willie Green and the Sean Payton hire. Now, it's interesting because Coach Payton wasn't well known, and really, you remember who he was competing with for the coaching job. He was going up against an experienced offensive coordinator who was coming off of Super Bowls. I mean, who won 2 Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator. And it was down between them two, and Tom Benson chose Sean Payton because of the price tag. Remember who the other guy was? It was Gary Kubiak. And Gary Kubiak was the dude that Tom Benson wanted. Gary Kubiak. And Gary Kubiak said, okay, I want to be the coach of the Saints, but it's going to cost you this much. And Tom Benson said, not going to pay that. So he went with Sean Payton, and it worked. He's being cheap, and that's one of the.
Wound up going to Green Bay. Like
went
before,
to the Texans.
He went to the Texans. He was coming from Green Bay though.
I want to say he was coming from Denver.
Denver.
He was coming from Denver.
He coached at Green Bay.
I don't know. But yeah, he was the guy that they want. So it's interesting that James brings that up, because a lot of the people are saying, like Chris Paul and all these other guys, how great Willie Green is as a communicator. He knows the game. He's been in the business a while, and he has a bright mind. So, I mean, we just need a guy that can just the team could respect. I think he'll bring the defense along and everybody, and I think we'll see it's not Mark Jackson hire, but I'm not mad at the Willie Green sign. After the last 2 guys that we done went through, old ass Gentry and this other guy with the halitosis, I'm just glad that they chose to go young.
They got a breath of fresh air, literally.
That's a good one. But I'm just, man, listen, Willie Green, I think he, based on my research, and I drug that interview up, so the family members who are not accustomed to listen to Willie Green, they can hear his words. And this is the person that you're going to be listening to in press conferences over the next 80 some whatever games it'll be in the upcoming season. This will be the man that'll be talking.
We're gonna have press conferences that are not embarrassing. They're not inflammatory. Yeah. They're gonna be respectable. We ain't gonna be saying, "What the hell did you just say?" We ain't gonna have to deal with none of that no more.
No, in all my 60 years of coaching,
we got 2 of them back. They were complete opposites, but they were doing the same shit.
In all of my 60 years of coaching, I never heard of anything as a bad win. Remember, Gentry always would say that. He would always. I was like, oh my goodness,
Bro, what remember you used to see say he didn't believe. I don't believe in moral victories. And then like 2 games later, he's like, yeah, we played tough. We got some stuff we can take over to the next game, even though we didn't win. You know, it wasn't a moral victory. He said he didn't believe in something like, when they lose.
bad wins. Was
No,
that
you had the bad wins one. But when somebody loses and be like, we're gonna get them next time, and you take all that to the next game. Gentry was like, he don't believe in moral victories with a loss. You know what I'm saying? But like 2 or 3 games later, he was like, yeah, we did some good things out there, some stuff we could carry over to the next game. And, it was, I liked how our guys look and how they fought, basically describing the moral victory.
I just think it's
better.
I just think it's a better. I think it's a better situation altogether for the Pelicans, man. Really, it is. You got a guy that is going to be able to relate to these younger players. He's a guy that has defensive acumen. His principles comes across clear. He communicates the game, and he's not a harsh critiquer of talent and somebody that's going to beat the team unmercifully. They win games and they're not perfect. And you got Mr. Rock and Roll standing up there, Mario brother, standing up there complaining about the defense and the fact they turned over 12 turnovers, but they won the game by 10 or what have you. I mean, you had double-digit losses due to the fact we had the lead. It then lost it because of it's.
I don't think that was Stan Van Gundy fault though.
Man, Stan Van Gundy was at the head of that.
They did it, but they did the same thing with Alvin Gentry, bro.
Well, listen, bro. They ain't blow that many leads with Elvin Gentry, DC.
They blew a lot of them, bro.
They blew a lot of leads, but they did not blow 14, that.
But
I'm about to try to tell you, 15.
That same thing 15. Was there, bro. Because we watched the Pelicans, and
I get you. They do let them come back, but come on, no, DC, stop that damage control. All I'm saying is
control.
You about to bring
is like the equivalent of a bad parent.
You about to bring that damage control. I had to shut you down real quick.
Van Gundy whip his child ass for going to the door and looking out the blinds or some shit.
All I'm saying is that you can't say that they had 14 or 15 double-digit blown leads that ended in losses that they was doing that. Like, no, this was one season of Van Gundy doing this, DC. One season of him, that many losses like that. That is if you won't take anything away from Stan Van Gundy, he'll be known as the guy that couldn't get his team to win. Because he wouldn't, and don't forget, I don't know if he was involved in that. So it wasn't Stan Van Gundy doing them dumbass substitutions. It wasn't Stan Van Gundy in that miscalling calls at the wrong time.
Stan Van Gundy.
Stop that damage control, DC.
Stan Van Gundy is responsible for them.
Hashtag
this fool.
No,
Stan Van Gundy is responsible for them having a horrible season. Yes, but I'm just saying, like when they blow those games, a lot of those games, bro, our players was choking, man. It was a mental thing. It's almost like they had a mental block or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they just couldn't get past that. I saw the same thing with the Pelicans with Alvin Gentry.
14 of them, DC, is all I'm saying, brother.
It was more than enough. It was more than enough. It was more than 5 or 6. I don't know if it got up to 14. They had the same thing going on, bro. I ain't trying to control no damage. I'm just saying Alvin Gentry and Van Gundy was 2 birds out the same damn flock, basically. It was the opposite, but the same at the same time. Same goddamn results.
Let's get a couple of questions from the flock here, DC. What's up, Julio? Julio says, will Green get involved in the draft?
I hope so. Hopefully he ain't got Parkinson's and shit.
Oh, he don't have the shakiness.
He can sit there and look at the
he ain't gonna get scared. And he played at Detroit Mercy, so you don't have to worry about nobody running him out of town. I mean, he has to be. Well, I mean, the draft is coming up. Yeah, I think to a degree he got to have. He's the head coach. You got to be able to have him in there in some capacity to be able to have word in on it. I mean, you got to. You can't be drafting players for the coach and you're not in consorting a minute. That's what was the problem last year. That's why we couldn't get KLJ on the floor. Stan Van Gundy didn't have an interest to want to play KLJ because he didn't care who you picked. I mean, that is totally ridiculous, man. That's totally asinine. And I don't anticipate them doing that again. Thank you, Julio, for that question, fam. All right, let's keep it going here, fam. What's up, Trey? Trey says, Zoe told you how much he wanted. Do you guys think the Pels go over 18 million to get him?
I think they'll give him 20, bro. Exactly what he asked for. And 18 is just a way of negotiating so it don't get out of hand.
How much is Eric Bledsoe making, DC?
18. No, he making. Yeah, it's still 18. $18 million.
So we just get and like I said, 20 million for Lonzo Ball.
You gotta pay him more than Eric Bledsoe.
Right. And then you get Lonzo Ball, and he fits well with what we got going on here with Zion, and then you got BI. Man, you don't want to go subtracting some of your crucial young players right now. You know what I'm saying? And then we talk about, I hear all this foolishness they keep pushing. Oh, the Pelicans, Lonzo Ball gonna be leaving it. So the Pelicans looking to move up in the draft to get a point guard. Really?
Like what type of
I know, bro. It's just like, man, come on. Do you really think the flock is that crazy?
We gotta cover some of these guys in the draft. Like I got a point guard tonight we're gonna talk about. But still, I don't think that's a good idea, man. Like, why would you get rid of a point guard after you drafted a point guard 13 to draft another point guard 10? Like, what sense would that?
James said it wasn't 14, it was about 8. It was double digits, I won't say,
James.
I think
it wasn't 8. It was more than 8.
It was way more than 8, bro. It was in the double digits, man.
I wish it was 8.
Oh, he might be talking about with Gentry.
Oh, maybe so with Gentry. Maybe so. Because
go ahead, DC.
Gentry had his fair share of them too, bro. But Jalil made a comment, say they played.
B-Max said he agree with you.
I know, bro. I'm right on that one. Big Q wrong talking about the damage control thing. Him and Tasha, y'all just want to bag on a brother. You hear me? I want to bag on a brother. But they played scared under Stan Van Gundy. They didn't play scared under Alvin Gentry, but they threw a lot of games then too, bro. A lot of it I think was just they wasn't smart. You know what I'm saying? They was playing dumb ball blowing them games with Alvin Gentry.
Yeah, James made a point.
13 in a row.
Yes. So that's the questions for the flock. What's more dysfunctional? Who
was worse?
You're right.
Stan Van Gundy all day.
What's worse, family? We're gonna pose this to the flock. What's worse, losing 13 games in a row or losing blowing 14 leads
late?
What's late, right? And which is worse to you guys? Y'all throw it out there. All right. Oh, no problem, Tasha. Much love. All right. Trey says Stan fired 1 year and a 4-year contract.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. That's Barkley. That's terrible. Terrible.
That is terrible.
That's terrible.
That is terrible.
Brian says, do you need a coach to come in New Orleans? He said, do you need a coach to come in New Orleans? Pelicans is well known in business when you get okay, hold on here.
James said they both equal 13-14 losses. But which one is worse, James?
They both worse. They both meet the finish line at the same time.
Stan Van Gundy ones was worse because when we lost them 13 games in a row, baby, we was doing it in style.
Okay.
They was out there having fun. Brandon Ingram was jacking up shots left and right. They was having a good old time losing the 13 games.
Brian, rephrase your question, my friend. I don't understand your question. Kind of type it back in there, my friend, and we'll see if we can answer it.
NAW was coming in the game. He getting the game for 30 seconds. He done jacked up 5 shots. Boy, they was having fun with Alvin Gentry, boy.
And, of course, my dog Big Sean is in here chiming in. Big Sean says, how bad would the Spurs beat y'all again? Oh, Sean, that's over with, bro. That's over with.
And Big Sean Keldon Johnson did go to the Olympic team, though. I thought that was hilarious because they kept talking about how much better than Zion was.
And what about Popovich? Ain't Popovich head coaching that team now?
He's stinking that shit up over there, boy.
Oh, that could mean something. The future of your Spurs.
Ooh, man, it's great.
We're gonna stump off.
Is he sick?
Bro, he be looking terrible.
Look kind of sick. It's Big Sean. Put in the chat, bro. What's going on with him? If he got
we're gonna stomp him.
Ailment or something. Real talk, man. Like
Sean, y'all over with, bro. I hate to tell you this,
sickly, bro. I think Greg Popovich got about 1 or 2 more years, bro. Y'all gonna be rebuilding that whole shit.
1 or 2 years. They span and ran out, bro. It's over with.
It's over. You think it's over this year?
Bro, they got some teams in the Southwest that's going to listen.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of them Spurs, man.
I don't even know if DeJounte Murray coming back and all that. Yeah,
they got to bring him back, man. They got to bring DeJounte back. I want to say yes. You got to bring and DeMar DeRozan. Those are 2 fantastic players.
DeRozan is a free agent, man. DeRozan gonna come. Master P gonna pull him down here. We give Master P.
Sean, you in trouble.
Give Master P a spot on the coaching
We're gonna
staff. He
stump.
gonna
We're
get
gonna
the
stump.
Rosen down here.
Right,
bro.
we're gonna stump. We're gonna stump all over y'all, Sean, bro. Y'all reign is y'all gonna be like the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Talking about the olden days. Well, I remember back in 3 years ago, we won a championship. We won. We was at one time the bestie. It's over with,
America's team.
It's over with, Sean. It's a done deal, my brother. All right, Jalil says, in
They
y'all
ain't got
opinion,
nothing in San Antonio but fat women.
look at this. He goes to be like Charles Barkley now. Huh?
They got some big ones up there, Big Q.
And look
No,
who
my Charles
look.
Barkley ain't
Look,
working.
Barkley. Look, Barkley. Who talking, Barkley?
Right.
What you gonna do?
The man who got caught wearing lipstick.
He had a dress on. What you talking about?
He had a whole dress on too.
Man, hold on here. Don't make me pull that up.
Wow.
Don't make me pull that up. Don't make me pull it. Y'all remember that commercial with Charles Barkley was dressed like a woman? Y'all
Wow.
remember that? Don't make me pull that up, DC. Don't make me pull that out there and embarrass that man, bro. Don't make, because you know how to do it.
He embarrassed himself, man.
Yeah, he do. Jalil says, in y'all opinion, if the trade were to happen, who would you pursue to immediately help the team, assuming we keep Lonzo Ball? Of course, that's the easy. We always say, and I know what DC gonna say, Malcolm Brogdon.
That's the most the guy out there that people talking about trading, other than SGA, obviously.
Thank you, Jalil.
Seamless fit almost on any team with any combination of players. I think he will work.
Yeah, and you know what is interesting about Brogdon, bro, on many levels is the fact that defense, offense, you need a secondary ball handler. Like, even to a degree, DC,
he does everything well.
Everything.
He's just not great, but he does everything
Yeah,
really well. Dude, he's borderline all-star level.
But he'll be great with, like, if you have Lonzo Ball, because I can see them kind of playing off of each other.
Yeah.
If you did that, that would be because he's averaging 20 points right now, Brogdon, and his numbers are up there. So I would not be upset about that.
He did that already. He played with Eric Bledsoe and Giannis and Middleton.
Oh, don't play with Bledsoe, please.
But I'm just saying, at this point, they was all excited about Eric Bledsoe, so they figured they could let him go because it was going so well. You know what I'm saying?
Let's add this to it too, because we say Brogdon as a guard. How about a big? Let's throw a big in there. What big would we go? Like, maybe like I'm saying a big off the bench. I'm looking for a stretch four. We talk about Kelly Olynyk as a backup center, perhaps if we decided to move on from a Steven Adams. But what about a fourth guy, like a power forward, a position forward player that can play five if you need him in the pinch, stretch big, that can knock down three, that can keep those defenses honest? Who fits that image in your head? Who first comes to mind?
Right now, we got him on the team. In my opinion, we need to
talking about James
go
Johnson.
ahead and step it up with Jackson Hayes. Honestly,
Jackson Hayes at stretch four.
I think Jackson Hayes can play the 4 or the 5.
DC, hold on, stop it now. We got to talk. I ain't asked for you to make a big old joke about this.
I'm not joking. I'm dead serious.
I'm keeping it real. I'm asking you a serious question.
I'm dead serious
about a stretch 4 who's hitting 3-pointers now. That the first thing comes to your head, and you throw Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes ain't hitting no 3-pointers consistently right now, DC. I'm talking about somebody right now who you can put on the team
because he wasn't allowed to shoot him.
So telling me that?
I think he can hit 3-pointers, dude, and be a stretch for us. If we don't start him,
if we do, not a stretch 4.
Hey, if we do start him, I would like to get a guy. You might disagree, because I think guys like that they're extremely hard to find, and when you do have them as vets, they're expensive, man. Like, I like to get a guy, pull one of these guys out the draft, man, as a stretch. Somebody nobody don't know about. We got Wenyen Gabriel. I think
Terrell said he agree with you.
We probably could do something with that. You know what I'm saying? And who would you go get? Like, I mean, most of the guys that do that, Cam Reddish would be a good one. I don't know how you gonna play the damn center though, but
it don't make a difference. He the answer to all questions entitled DC and basketball,
according to the chat. But I mean, those guys are expensive, man. You're looking at 17, 18 million for a guy like that, Big Q. But you got James Johnson. I don't think would be horrible to bring back, but I really have to think about pulling somebody out of free agency. I mean, who's available would be the question, because almost to get a guy like that, I think you'd have to pull off a trade. Are any of them available?
Well,
Ooh.
all I can
I'm
say.
about to look up free agents, man. I need to see who available.
Well, I'm
Before I
saying
can
the
say.
stretch. Well, I thought you was gonna bring up James Johnson before you said Jackson Hayes, and the only reason why I
Nah,
kind of
I'm just wanted to
so you
give you
just
that, bro.
you just joking about the Jackson Hayes.
I'm dead serious, but I think he gonna start. He gonna wind up starting. They're gonna start him at center.
They're gonna start him at center over Steven
But
Adams.
maybe I'm wrong, but I think so. I think so, dude.
What's up, Damon? Who that to
But
you,
damn
brother?
it.
Big ups to my boy. Emmett says, I like us to take a swing at CJ if Portland decides to blow it up.
Not for that 31 million. I'm okay with. Good on that.
Julio says either Brogdon or Cam Reddish, which is what
There you
DC
go.
says every week.
There you go.
Same two names, Jax.
What
DC
you
gonna
want me
switch
to?
them
You
up.
want me to keep lying to you?
He gonna say
I
Malcolm
really
Reddish.
been saying Malcolm Brogdon, bro.
He'll say the same. He gonna say either Malcolm Brogdon or Cam Reddish. And then I say, DC, hold on, let me pick your brain for a second. Let's go and see if we can find a stretch forward. Now you gotta look at his phone.
Because I don't know who free agents, bro. I can
he
start
was
naming
gonna
people that's on teams, but I don't know
DC was gonna
who the
switch it
free
up and
agent.
says Malcolm Reddish or Cam
Malcolm
Brogdon.
Reddish. Who's a
It'll
free
be a
agent?
combination of those. I'm saying, listen, I'm saying whether he's a free agent or not, my friend, which player that you see that can help us off the bench as a stretch four? I know we talked about James Johnson. That's why I thought
The best name that I know of, you already mentioned, was Kelly Olynyk, because that's the guy I
but
actually
he's a
would
center
have
though. I'm
liked to
talking
get.
about a four.
But he could play. He could come in and play the stretch four to stretch it out. Like, I mean, he's just
Terrible.
out there to shoot.
That's it. Terrible.
He's just out there to shoot.
What up,
He ain't
Jason?
out there to spread the flow out, man. I mean, that's why I said I think we could find a young guy in the draft that could do that.
Like
You can
who?
get a young guy that could come out and shoot. One of the guys I'm gonna talk
Watford?
about tonight when we go over the
Okay.
draft.
Let's
I'm
go
pull up
into
a
that.
guy that I like. You know what
Let's
I'm
go.
saying?
Let's go ahead and get in that right now, DC. Who you got, my friend?
But before I get into that, I'm looking
Cam
at
Reddish.
I'm looking at these free agents, man, and you got Lauri Markkinen. Like, I don't know if Chicago gonna let him walk for nothing, but if you could get Larry Markkinen for a decent price,
What's up, Kai?
he would be a hell of a piece to have. But I mean, you can't pay him no $20 million and all that. I really don't
What's
think
up,
he
Rudy?
deserves that much. Somebody might give him that though. But what?
James said Lauri Markkinen. Jason says Jeff Green. Kai says Miles Turner or Gina. I didn't know Isaac was on the trading block from Orlando. Is that the?
He on a trading block? Damn,
I
the
didn't
man
know
got
that.
hurt and they put him on a trading block.
I didn't know he was on the
I
trade, but I
wonder
thought
what
he
it
was a
take to
part of
get
their
him,
future
man.
plan.
That dude's special, bro. He do a little bit of everything.
Trey said Lauri's good, but he on that vegan diet. He can't play center, or he don't have no strength to him. He needs to eat some hamburger.
He's a stretch four though. Like, to have a stretch four, bro. Like,
No,
you
he's a
don't have
stretcher
to.
for DC.
But I'm saying
He's a stretcher. He's a stretcher for.
If you got
Get
him out
that?
there, you got him out there to play stretch four. He not out there because of
DC.
his defensive
You're missing it.
capabilities.
You're missing it though.
I got you. He's a stretcher four.
He's a
He
stretcher.
always hurt. I got you.
That's what he is. You're a damn
I
stretcher
got you.
for. Cut it out.
Damn, Jared Dudley is really still in the free agency pool, Big Q.
Is he?
That's wild.
Oh man, my goodness. All right, but okay, read Rudy's comment. Okay,
Keith Morris. Okay, that's one of those. That's one I would like. Keith Morris, the twins, the other twin in LA. He's a free agent.
no, I know Rudy. We haven't thought about drafting Charles Bassey. We never brought him up, bro. There's a few people at the 10 position, but that's the big question, though. If you think about it, it's like, okay, now that we got the coach out the way, now that we know for a fact, listen, family, and I know many of you guys agree with me. Y'all let me know. Y'all tell me what y'all think happens. We got Willie Green now, so that's one thing out the way. The next big shoe to fall is what happens with Lonzo Ball. Do you guys agree with me in DC that Lonzo comes back to the Pelicans? Y'all let me know in the chat. Because I think so. And I think so because if he's talking about 20 million and we already said we're going to give him 18, what's 2 more million to give to Lonzo Ball? And Zion wants him. The Pelicans want Zion to stay. Lonzo Ball is a big key to that agreement. And Ingram wants him here too. So that's 3 stars you keep together. You got a young coach who can communicate. We got a 10th overall pick in the draft. And I would say that's the next order of business is the draft pick and then free agency. about what we need to format. But we don't really need a big reformation of the team per se. You know what I'm saying, family? And Jalil spoke about this before, and several other members of James and everybody else said the same thing. We don't need to tear up the Pelicans roster or have a massive overhaul to win. Now,
so we're not trading Brandon Ingram like everybody keep throwing him in the trades?
No, we can't do that, DC. We're not going to trade Ingram for Cam Reddish, so you might as well stop saying that. So what we're going to do is
Dame Lillard, bro. I ain't trying to trade him.
No,
bro. No. Trade him for Dame Lillard.
No, we don't have to do that because we got Lonzo there. And that's what I'm saying. We can build with this young core, man. If we can build with this young core, we'll be fine. And there even some speculation that Josh Hart that the Pelicans are interested in bringing Hart back. So that I don't know about
Josh Hart say he didn't want to come back?
They say a lot of stuff, DC. You know, it's all about what happened when the time comes. So I mean, at the end of the day,
he said he didn't want to come back right after a certain somebody got $5.3 million. Well, all of a sudden he didn't want to come back.
Well, listen, all I can say is that's when you had the guy with the halitosis and the rocket rolls for his favorite snack. He's not there no more. You got Willie Green here, and there's a high opinion of Willie Green and how the team looks with Willie running it. It's a whole different matrix now. So he might be definitely Josh Hart. Could you imagine Josh Hart playing in the free and as emotional as he is in the Pelican system? And so, QQ, what about DC's second favorite player, Didi Louzada, with all of his beautiful 3 points? Well, the reality is there is still
getting no minutes if Josh comes back.
Well, I'm just saying you can still with the Pelicans. Don't forget the Pelicans have a G League team that'll be opening up play this upseason in Birmingham. That's 3 or 4 hours from New Orleans, so they can put players on a bus and have them training in Birmingham and getting better. So it's not like we have to ship them way up to Pennsylvania anymore. So I can see the Pelicans did that because they know that's a good way to kind of get talent like Wenyen Gabriel and all these other guys to get them some real or some live game reps and kind of build that thing up. So like I said, Didi Louzada was good defensively last year, but he can benefit from some seasoning. But for right now, you know, if they decide to go with Josh Hart, I wouldn't be upset about that. And then really we don't need a massive overhaul. If we just need to fix the bench and get a solid bench unit together with Willie. Now, before we get into the draft talk, let's address that. Would the focus be on fixing the bench, being that we have a talented 5 unit? And we're going to have to get rid of Eric Bledsoe. And let's just assume that Bledsoe is gone. Even though DC really kind of dropped the poison pill in the lake last show talking about the connections between Willie Green and Eric Bledsoe.
Hey, man, I'm just pointing out the facts, bro. You call it damage control. I'm telling the truth. I ain't trying to
damage controlling on
that. I ain't trying to live with no rose-colored glasses, bro. The man played with Willie Green. Eric Bledsoe was out in Phoenix with the other team.
Oh, this comment. Okay.
Look at Rudy, man.
DC isn't damage control. It stands for Desirable Caribbean Cruise. No, cause. Desirable Caribbean, I say cruise. Cause he gets all the ladies and Big Q is Big Swab.
That damn Rudy boy.
DC gets out his guitar and starts playing and singing Jamaican songs. He starts going into his bag with the Marleys. All right, go ahead, DC. I'm sorry. I just had to drop that.
Eric Bledsoe was out in Phoenix. He was out in Big Q. Where was he? He was out in.
I'm not gonna sing that. Why the hell would I sing that? And that got something to do with Eric Bledsoe.
He was out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Why you gotta do this? What the hell is that?
I don't know. In my mind, that's what you do when you say it.
You also pound on death in your mind. That's far from the truth.
When I ain't on the show, I can't always watch the video when I be listening, brother. So in my mind, you say Phoenix, Arizona. You do the thing with your head. You don't pound on the desk no more, so I figure you must do the thing with your head or something. But
I never pounded on the desk.
Huh?
I never pounded on the desk. What you talking about?
See, I'm gonna catch the boys in here when the boys in here on one episode. We're gonna ask them, bro, because you raised them right. The boys ain't gonna tell no lies.
No, they ain't gonna tell no lies.
You do pound on the desk, Baba.
That's sad.
You know you was beating on that desk, bro. I remember one time in the beginning we was doing the show, bro, and I set my cup of water down The damn cup of water almost tipped over because you had a
Man, cut it
pothole
out, man.
banging your fists on there, man.
That was some
That was
terrible
in the
years,
early
man.
shows, man. That
That
was
was
in the
terrible. That
early
was
shows.
terrible years, man. That was a lot of fight. That was a lot of anger them days.
Damn, they lost all my water, man. Big Q pothole in this damn desk, man.
But go ahead, DC. Feel free to elaborate on what you were saying if you can remember that.
What I was saying, I don't think it's a coincidence that Eric Bledsoe and all the team, he was out there with them. They was all in Phoenix. So maybe I'm going to go out on a limb and come back to reality and stop pissing everybody off. And I'm going to say, I think Eric Bledsoe is probably excited
What's up,
that
Josh?
Willie Green is coming, and maybe he's excited. And I hope that all of that excitement lasts for about 5 or 6 games, and maybe he can have a big game and get the fuck out of here. So he definitely was with the team and all that, bro. So I'm sure he been talking to Willie. Hopefully Willie ain't drawing up no damn plays for him, and he telling Eric Bledsoe, listen, man, we want to get you to a better team. So what we gonna do? First 5 games, we gonna run a lot of plays for you.
Carlton say he's here.
Then we gonna put you on the trading block, right?
But DC, that's interesting because that's another thing to talk about is the relationship between Willie Green and the Octopus, as we call him.
Wait, who the Octopus?
David Griffin.
I missed that. The Octopus.
So how is he gonna keep his slimy tentacles off of telling Willie Green, hey, you need to bench this guy or be restrictive? You know,
I think
how does that look?
I think by him being Trajan's guy, it'll be more of a little bit of a buffer. I don't think David Griffin will feel comfortable with that. And some of that stuff, he might actually be doing what he's supposed to do. Because if he had the humbleness to allow Trajan to obviously pick the coach, then maybe he has the humbleness to run some things through Trajan and kind of let him pass some messages to Willie Green as suggestions. And I really believe as long as they start winning, you really think he gonna be talking about who getting minutes and all if they winning? Like we gonna do that? That type of micromanaging?
I hope not, bro. He don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most of the time micromanagers get worse when you start winning.
Yeah,
because he want credit. That's what it's all about. I did this. Who did this? I did this. Who? Me? That's who. You know, that kind of thing. So I mean, hopefully not. We keep him out of it, man. Hopefully he stays out of it, man. But I'm not mad about the Willie Green hiring, man. But let's go into some of your draft picks, DC. Who you got first up, my friend?
First up, this guy, he's actually pretty good, man. But I don't think it's a great pick for us.
Yes, it is, Rudy.
But I do have to point out that the Pelicans was at his game watching him work out. So the Pelicans are obviously taking him serious. It's a young man from Australia that's 6'8", and he plays point guard named Josh Giddey. So that's right up our alley, Q, another damn point guard. To me, he kind of reminds me of like Ricky Rubio.
Axum?
A little, not Dante Axum. Like Ricky Rubio, a little bit of the Luka Doncic thing in his game because he finishes great around the basket. But they talk about him. He averaged 11.3 assists. No, 11.3 points. I'm sorry, family. 7.7 assists, 7.3 rebounds. While he shot 43% from the field, 31% from 3-point range. Shot was a little sporadic. Goes on stretches where he shoots 40, 45% 3-point shooting, and then other stretches where he shoots 29. Sound a little familiar? As I read it sound even more familiar. He's a brilliant playmaker who can create for his teammates in a variety of ways. He's a pick and roll maestro, has the ability to make quick and smart decisions and quick passes in tight windows. His smooth ball handling skills pairs nicely with that aspect of his game, with him being 6'8", that allows him to see more plays over the top of smaller defenders that are at his position. He's also a savvy and flashy passer in the open field. So he's great passing in transition. Go figure, just like Lonzo Ball. Making every player around him better with a high offensive IQ and elite court vision. Giddey controls the tempo of the game and plays at his own pace. You can never speed him up. As an attacker on the offensive end, he has developed an array of floaters and runners to make up for his lack of burst and athleticism. His spot-up perimeter shooting is solid, but his jump shot is something that he isn't something that he constantly relies on. Defensively, Giddey has a nose for the ball and plays with intelligence and toughness, and to make up for his lack of athleticism on that end of the floor. All in all, he's as true of a floor general as they come. But the little brother does have a weakness. While he has learned to craft his game around his deficiencies, Giddey doesn't have the explosive first step, shifty quickness that we typically see from NBA guards. As a result, he may have trouble creating separation on the next level and will have to rely on his size to make plays for himself and teammates. He's a streaky shooter, which will have to improve and gain some consistency in the NBA to keep defenses honest when guarding him on the perimeter. He can't afford to let opposing defenders sag off of him with the ball in his hands on the defensive end. It will be interesting to see what assignments he takes on. As a smart but limited defender physically, he will have quick lateral movement. He doesn't have quick lateral movement to keep up with guards. Is he long and strong enough to put up with the weight class of the forwards? His arm length, his wingspan is 6'7", so that may cause some limitations. So he's projected role in NBA as an offensive initiator, and they say shades of Evan Turner and Ricky Rubio. So we got this guy out of Australia who's the best prospect to come out of Australia since Ben Simmons. Not Ben Simmons. He passed up Dante Exum. He had some championship games he was in, and he had like some triple-double games and was averaging 20-something points in the championship. So he could ball, man. But this, to me, it smells of, I guess, a possible backup plan if the Lonzo Ball thing goes left, because he has so many similarities to Lonzo Ball without the athleticism. But I like him as a player, Big Q, but at the same time, I'm really not excited about us drafting him. I don't want us to draft a point guard if we do get a young guy, because I feel like that's the hardest position to transition, unless you're just some type of phenom like Luka Doncic and, some Chris Pauls, but you don't see that every day. Usually point guards, they take a while. And I think the guy that everybody's wondering if we're going to pay or not, he's finally kind of shaping in the form, and I think he's going to hit that stride in his game where he could be a lot better than he's been in the past and kind of get closer to that projection of what they had him when the Lakers drafted him too, and Lonzo Ball. So not super excited about Giddey, but he's a guy that's out there. And then we'll move on to my other guy, keep it a little shorter with him. My other guy is a guy named Vraz. It's hard to say his name, family. The boy name is Vrenz. Vraz. And Balinzenberg, I think. He's from Belgium, so obviously it's a German name. Hard to pronounce. You pulled up the article on the draft.com on NBA Big Q. So that's what I'm about to read off of. I saw you up there for Giddey.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Vraz.
What's his position?
BLEIGIJENBERGH. That's his last name.
Just tell me his position.
He's a forward, man.
Okay.
He's a forward. This is you asked me about stretch forwards. This is a guy I hope we could probably get, man. He was born in October 2000 in Belgium. He's listed as 6'10", 209 pounds, and some projections they say he's 170, but I guess maybe put on some weight, so they're saying he's 209 pounds. He began playing basketball at a young age for a local team. He played point guard as a youth, despite being well above his height. And what is this? In 2016, he played in the U16E championship game in 23 minutes. He averaged 9.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. while shooting 49% from the floor and shooting 37% from deep. In 2017, he played in the U18 Euro Championship B, where he averaged 5 points, 4 rebounds, 16 minutes while shooting 54% from the floor. He began playing pro ball with the Antwerp Giants. Before signing with the team, he turned down college offers from the likes of Arizona, Texas Tech, UCLA. At the time, he also left the secondary school to focus solely on basketball. During the 2018-2019 season, he saw 7 minutes per game and averaged 1.4 points. That ain't impressive. 1.3 rebounds. 2018, he also participated in the U18 Euro Championship B. Belgium's I'm gonna try to say Bellingenberg's team took home the bronze medal. He averaged 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal in 29 minutes per contest. And then in 2019-2020 for the Antwerp Giants, he saw an increased role at averaging 2.9 and 1.9 assists. That's increase. And 1.5 rebounds and 12.2 minutes. He also played in Euro Championship B in 2019, averaging 9.3 points, 6.6 assists, 5.6 assists, so on and so on. So they just keep talking about his profile. It's kind of hard to find a lot of information on him on NBA.com, but he just went over some stuff that he's done as far as his profile. But his breakdown is basically he's a 6'10 guy that's pretty mobile, kind of athletic. He can shoot from behind the arc. He got a good 3-point shot. He can actually get to the hole, do some things there. He got a little style to his game too. Decent handle. I mean, he moves to me very well for a guy that's 6'10". You know what I'm saying? And he can pass, man. He's great at facilitating. He's very unselfish. He's good with the catch and shoot. He's your prototypical 3-and-D guy. He actually plays pretty decent defense too. He's obviously not no Miles Turner or somebody who's gonna be a defensive juggernaut, but he gonna get after it on the defensive end. Like him a lot. He worked out for I believe it was Minnesota, and they were so blown away. All the teams start lining up to get a workout with this dude. He'll be working out with the Pelicans on the 17th, I believe. He's very active on Twitter. He's confident, talk a little trash. You look into him and go look at his highlights, because a lot of what I highlighted tonight don't sound super impressive, but he's a big guy that can move, man. And he kind of jump at you in his highlights, man. You'll see him and like, okay, that little guy got something, bro. And I could see him coming on the Pelicans team and fitting right into that position we was just talking about, looking at a guy in free agency we trying to get. If you want a real good stretch for, you're gonna have to pay $5, $6, $7 million a year to get a guy to come off the bench and do that. And you can find a guy hopefully in the late end of the first. Maybe we could trade into the first with all them picks we got, the late end of it, and get a guy like him. Even if we traded away the 10 pick, or we trade away the 10 pick, and maybe it's like a pick swap and we get a lower pick and we wind up drafting him. I think it'd be a good move for him to be on the Pelicans team, man. And the dude really would be, I think, a nice piece to have off the bench and be a top-notch role player.
What else you got, DC? Is there anybody else you want to add to it? Or that's the two?
No, I'm going to just go over them 2 today. I'm going to do 2 a days, bro. Try to bring 2 every time that I find that we ain't talking about. And just go over with the family. Maybe they heard of them. Maybe they haven't.
Right.
I'm going to see what y'all talking about in the chat. It might be somebody y'all want me to go look up. I'm going to give you credit because DJ was taking you serious, talking about I'm stealing all his people.
Rudy's saying about Bassey. We're gonna have to look him up.
Charles Bassey.
Yeah, Charles Bassey's one that Rudy is recommending.
I never heard of Charles Bassey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put him on screen and look him up. But DC Damien, what's up, Damien? He says,
"Come on, Trey, don't do that to me. Talk about he gonna take my word on the second guy, 2 assists."
All right, Damien says, I notice people bring up Saxton a lot. Me personally, I think he ain't that good. He just played on an awful team, and he was the only scorer. What you think?
I think
Huh?
some people over exaggerate him, and I think some people kind of undercut him. I think Saxton could ball, but obviously
What about
anybody who
Garland?
Garland is better.
That's
But
what I'm about to
anybody, that's I wanted the Pelicans to draft Garland. Like you remember, I was on
Yeah,
that
me too.
bandwagon.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Garland a lot.
Right.
Saxton is awkward. So anybody who like ball, you watch him, and he's real like weird. Like it's like just an awkward way he do his thing, and you like, man, that was a fluke. Man, that dude just throwing it up there. You start thinking that, but when you watch him, the brother got some game. But he's a scorer, man. He's not really a point
Facilitating.
guard. Like
Yeah.
I think he's in a situation that's not beneficial to him. Like we talking about how he not good. You put Saxton, like let's say for instance, you put him on the Lakers. Like if he wound up getting on the Lakers or something, man, they'd be tearing the damn league up. The dude get buckets. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. So him being on Cleveland, I don't think it matters what team he's on. Like I mean, this guy when lit it up and beat the damn Brooklyn Nets with KD and Harden and Kyrie and all, none of them was hurt, you know. And he was getting them fits, and he walked in the locker room and told him he was gonna give him fits before he did it. So I can't say that the brother's like trash like some people try to say, and I'm not gonna say like he the second coming of Allen Iverson like I hear other people say, but I think he's a good player. It's just the right situation. It would have to be kind of for him, and I don't think we are that because why would he want to come here? He's not going to be able to even be the second guy. He's going to be like the third guy. And I don't think his game is really that. He a little more ball dominant than what we probably would need. What you think about him, Q?
Well, I mean, I agree with that. I think the better point guard in Cleveland was Garland to me. I think Colin Saxton still need to work on his facilitating game, a lot, to get that well around thing. But most of them never do. At times, you got a guy, he's a really good scorer, and he can play. And you're all right. He is awkward. His look is awkward. His play is awkward. He's not a bunk or a bum point guard in my opinion. He's actually a pretty decent point guard, and in the right situation, he could thrive. But there are a lot of people out there looking at him as a potential guy to bring in. And if you look at the point guards that are available in free agency, Chris Paul sits atop the list. And then, of course,
come on tomorrow, Timothy. We're gonna let you talk all about it. We got a Saxton lover in the message room, bro.
Oh yeah,
Colin Saxton. You don't like what we saying. You don't like that.
I think Colin Saxton he could play, man. I think he can play, but I don't think it's.
He said flock to facilitate.
Saying, man, that's a part of it, ain't it? I mean, that's how he'll get.
I don't want no point guard that's not a facilitator. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, you don't have to be the best facilitator. You could be a scorer and point guard. You don't have to be the best facilitator. But I need you to be able to at least run the offense in case whoever we got doing the facilitation go down. Like I need you to be, more than serviceable. So point guard is a position I think it carries a lot of responsibility. Even if you are a scorer, man, you got to know what everybody's supposed to be at, know what players are supposed to do. It's like the quarterback on a basketball court, but the way the game is now, you kind of transitioning that to all positions. But I'm from the old school. I just feel like point guards to me is your point guard is supposed to be one of the smartest players out there, no matter what his ultimate skill is or talent. You can't tell me Dame ain't a facilitator. Now, they got people that might be a better facilitator than Dame. Any good point guard or great point guard you look at, we remember Allen Iverson for scoring. When Allen Iverson got in his bag, he was a hell of a point guard. But his game was scoring. But he could sit up there and facilitate and get 11, 12 assists every damn game if that's what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So, point guard is one of the positions where facilitation is always important, man. He got to make sure everybody eat, bro. Because you touching the ball the most.
Yeah, he set the table, man. Yeah, right. He just can't get his own shot, bro. He pissed everybody off. I mean, it looked like that now because, like he's saying, they don't have anybody else scoring for him. Cleveland was awful last year. That's not to take nothing away from Colin Saxton because he was pretty good at playing for Alabama out the SEC. So I'm not going to take nothing away from him. But I'm saying a part of his game is he got to learn he got to set the table for other people, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes, and that takes him to another level. So we'll see how that goes. But also, Damien says, "Am I the only one that see these foreign players are taking over in the NBA? Let me know if I'm tripping." No, you ain't
man,
tripping.
good ball is good ball, man. But before we go to that on Dame, got some good questions. Appreciate that, brother. Colin Saxton, bro, I think he get a bad rap too. People talk about, oh, he getting them points because he on Cleveland. But that's even more so make it more impressive. So when the other team come that's actually good, all they gotta do is stop Colin Sexton. And you still can't do it. He averaging 24, so you gotta give him his propers. But on the foreign guys, man, I think those guys are they learn the game more of from a team aspect. I think that's what was kind of advancing them. Like, to me, our players have gotten so good. Like, you look at a James Harden,
What, brother
for
Jonathan?
instance, bro. James Harden is unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? He unstoppable so much so to where you could just get this dude the ball and he is the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the offense? Give James Harden the ball. Dribble, dribble, dribble. he gonna get a layup. He gonna get to the foul line, or he gonna shoot a three. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. And this is gonna happen all game. You know what I'm saying? This is what we gonna do. When you collapse on it, he gonna kick to an open teammate. As long as they can shoot, they make the shot. And this is the offense. So the foreign guys, like, they running set plays, all that. Younger, man, they not as athletic. You know what I'm saying? So they really, really got to work on these skills. Not saying we don't. I just think they come from an environment where it's a little tough on them too. They probably got a lot of the old school hardness. They ain't, trying to appease them as much as we do here. Now, we got it made here, man. This little dude, 17 years old, got all type of trainers and everything. You know what I'm saying? Man, them dudes got to go over there. They play ball. We play grown men. At 12. Not that they don't here, but they playing in leagues. For championships at 12, and dudes on the team 24, 25. And the cream gonna rise to the top. And I think that's all it really is, man.
All right, thank you for that, Damon. And big ups to the rest of the flock, man. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all being in here. Please feel free to hit the like button, family, as you guys in the stream. Do me that favor. Hit the like button on the stream, family. Like I said, we're going to return tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Saturday, get reaction from you guys over the last week's worth of news that you're hearing from Lonzo Ball, of course, Willie Green. It's unofficially official, so to speak, but we want to hear what you guys think about that Willie Green signing and the relationship with the administrators. And, of course, how will Willie solve some of the issues that we see watching this team? Of course, we know about the Pelicans starting five, but how about the bench? I think that was a real big problem with the Pelicans last year, was we didn't have a consistent five off the bench. We didn't develop those guys like we were supposed to, and that really could have helped out a lot more.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that Willie Green does understand the importance of coming off the bench. I mean, I know toward the back end of his career, that's pretty much what he was, as a bench player and was a role player in many regards. So I understand he knows how a good bench can help a team win. So that's another thing there. And of course, like I said, we have the next couple of days coming up. I think in the 27th is the training camp start of the Saints, and then of course 2 days later, which is what is it now? Maybe a little less than 2 weeks now before the draft on July the 29th, which is a programming note for the family members for that old draft coming up on July the 29th. We will be live for the summation of the draft. We will be in the building for the entire draft. We did this last year when we did our draft stream.
Yeah, fun too, man.
Yeah, it was fun. We had some fun. We'll be doing it again July the 29th. It'll probably be a 5 or 6 hour show or something big. So make sure y'all have your coffee ready. Make sure y'all eat your dinner early, because we're going to be putting in some work on that day. And we want y'all to join us here on the Pelican Post Game Report with the draft. So we'll be hearing all you guys' commentary on who you think the Pelicans, your top prospects who the Pelicans should be looking at. And I like Melon and God's pick on Watford. Trenton Watford is another fantastic. I'm an LSU guy. So Watford could ball, man. He would be a tremendous addition for the Pelicans off the bench.
Yeah, I like Watford.
Like Watford a lot. He's a baller. So I hear you on that. But
I
before
like what Melanin guy said about the foreign players. I 100% agree. I agree 1,000% with that comment. Like the foreign players in the '90s, it would be different. The game to change, and shooters. Like if you could shoot, it's a little easier for you now. Way easier than it used to be.
Nah, Tasha, just some lemonade, baby. Ain't nothing going on there. What's up, Jerry? Big ups to you, brother. Good to see brother Jerry there. And of course,
Oh,
let's look at it. Charles Bassey. This is
okay.
Rudy's pick here about Bassey, just to
West
sprinkle some
Kentucky.
game on him. A Western Kentucky, 6'11", 235 pounds, center out of his country of origin is Nigeria. He's a junior there coming out. And he's a long center with strong frame who bounced back from an injury-shortened season to emerge as a significant improved player. As a junior with Western Kentucky, growing up in Nigeria, Bassey came to the United States in his early teens to continue his basketball career, participating in several basketball without border camps, playing at the Jordan Brand International game, and earning a spot at the Nike Hoop Summit. He finished his prep career at Aspire Academy in Kentucky, widely regarded as one of the top 10 prospects in high school class of 2018 after reclassifying to join the Hilltoppers a year early. And of course, to give you his stuff here, possessing a tremendous combination of size and length, he measured at 6'10" in shoes. He has a 7-foot, 3.5-inch wingspan and a 239-pound frame at the 2019 NBA Draft Combine. Bassey is physically gifted center who may not be especially nimble or fluid, but look a bit bouncier as a junior than he did as an underclassman. Filling a huge role for Kentucky, Western Kentucky team that leaned quite heavily on his ability to make things happen out of the post. Bassey was imposing inside and exceptionally productive on a per-minute basis, scoring steadily, going one-on-one on the block, making an impact on the glass, and finishing lobs from the dunker spot. Bassett was very consistent inside, but showed some intriguing growth as a potential three-point threat in the final collegiate season as well. Doing a nice job using his length to protect the rim and clean the glass as a junior, Bassey is more comfortable defending around the rim than rotating on the perimeter, but he held his own more frequently, guarding one-on-one in space than he did a year ago. So if you take a look at his statistics to see what his averages are, they don't make mention of what he's averaging, which is probably
They
not
did a
much.
better write-up on him than my guy.
Yeah. So they don't. I don't see any averages, his points or what he's averaging there. So, but mostly it's giving you the idea. Hold on here. I thought I seen. No, it's not no averages right here. I'm trying to find his game by game average. But anyway, he's a defensive center, and could this be the guy that Rudy's throwing out there in terms of could be a glass cleaner, rebounder type to help out a future at the 5 position for the Pelicans? I mean, we can always use some defense in the paint and in the post to help clean up shots or whatnot, but we'll see. But that's thank you, Rudy, for that. We'll keep him in mind as well.
I mean, I like the fact that he got that 3-point shot, man. He got some hell of a size, but man, you got to get your bigs got to be nimble and quick. So I like to see some video on him, see how, because they're saying like get sideways, vertically he can get up there, but sideways he a little stiff, and I don't know, got to check some video out on him, bro. Nothing jump out to me listening to that, but I mean he got some size, bro, and he got a capable 3-point shot, so that's definitely something we should look into, and Pels might actually be interested in, man.
All right. So listen, fam, I appreciate y'all for chiming in, man. Y'all appreciate y'all so much, man, for the stream. I went 38 minutes into this thing. And like I said, I just asked the family members, if you hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the Pelican Post Game Report. And like I said, fam, we will return tomorrow as well, with the Pelican Post Game Report later on in the day. Also, we got a Saints. We got to do the Saints, the Sports Coma reaction show as well. That we got to push that back. Sometimes it's probably going to be around noonish. So we're gonna have a couple of things going on. My whole Friday schedule was kind of thrown off. That's why we kind of doing this, and one show affected the other. So we'll kind of make it right tomorrow. So we have some more time, and guys will be a little bit more fresh, so that we could be able to attack the topics. And I'm gonna see if I can get Swade to chime in on the sports coma, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, programming note: tomorrow we'll return for the reaction show for the family members for the Pelican Post Game Report. That'll be at 8 o'clock Central Time. So subscribe, hit the bell so you can catch that, and we'll do the sports coma at 12 noon Central Time as well. So with that being said, fam, we will do. That's right, Damien. Yeah, the tough Tiger talk will be somewhere in there as well. So
Rudy put Bess's stats in the chat, bro. They're pretty good, man. 17, 11, 6, 0.7 assists, 59%. That's a little low for a center, but ain't the worst.
That's not bad. That's coming out of Western Kentucky.
How many threes he was shooting? I 1 to 2.
Western Kentucky center with that size. I mean, he might be but like I said, we have how many second round
them centers in college though, they be getting close to 70%. Field goal percentage. That's what I'm saying. That
you looking at we got like I think we have 3 or 4 of those second round draft picks. I think the Pelicans have probably packaged those picks and kind of move around a little bit. I don't see them taking all those players with those picks. The 10th pick, I can see them
picks from years later down the line too. Like all them second, we got a bunch.
We packaged picks last year when we did. We packaged picks last year, moving ahead to get extra picks for what? I
didn't understand that, the whole getting extra picks.
Yeah, you needed those guys.
We moved back to get extra. We had like good spots where we could have took guys. I guess we figured we didn't want them or need them.
Yeah,
and
but that was a mistake.
And got picks, and I'm like, man, we getting a second round pick from Denver. Denver gonna be a winning team next year. That pick ain't gonna be worth shit. What we doing with that?
But with building sustainable winning, they tell you anything if you're a fool. I'll tell you one thing.
We'd have did better getting a dude and letting somebody who, like Orlando, who he wound up going to. That's why RJ Barrett wound up anyway, I believe. So what if we would have got him and then traded for Orlando's second round pick? Because they moved him.
Right. But I mean,
put him on the roster and keep shopping him around.
But just be doing moves just to say that we moving. We doing something. Oh, we traded this move over here to do this, and you got this, that, and third. And this team gonna be good. That pick gonna be a late pick. But also you can use them to combine them to go and get a veteran player. But you got to also have the cap or the salary to be able to eat the money, the salary room to be able to absorb his contract. So you might have the picks to be able to make a trade for a superstar player, but you also have to clear the room to be able to do it. Issue is with the Pelicans. Is you already got 158 on BI. You got 2 years left on Zion's contract. And then, of course, you have Lonzo, who's going to more than likely get his money this year. So you kind of are all bought in on the model that you're about to run. And any other pieces will have to be pieces that are at a level which will not cause the apple cart to turn over, if you know what I mean. So that 10th round pick has got to be a pick that's got to count, which is, in my opinion, should be a shooter of some sort, because that's your most glaring need. So whether it's Moody or what have you, and then of course we have 3 or 4 second round picks. So I think one of those picks could be a Trendon Warford. I would, and of course a Warford off the bench would be ideal. But like I said, I wanted to get a stretch four. I was saying this last year when we picked up James Johnson, is that we needed a guy who could play defense, who had an attitude. That was perfect, James Johnson. He kind of struggled as he came in. At first, he had some really good games, and then he kind of teetered off a bit. But, who's to say how much of that is Stan Van Gundy? His influence, because he stifled and trifled stepped on the feet of a lot of players' expression and their ability, and killed a lot of the momentum himself. He just was, it just got in the way.
Because James Johnson came here, he's playing he's playing out his mind when he first got here, bro.
He did several straight games, and even when
he's playing amazing, man. It went on for about 5 games or so. And then it got a little choppy after that.
Yeah, because he got a lot of minutes, and he wasn't really playing like that in Dallas. And he came and he started loading up.
His legs probably got weak.
That was a lot of that. A lot of that was a little fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't playing heavy minutes like the Pelicans had him playing. So I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, looking, I appreciate you guys for chiming in. Hit the like button, family, and subscribe if you hadn't subscribed to the Pelican Post Game Report. Remember, we will return with our reaction every show from you guys tomorrow. We'll open up the chat starting at 8:00 Central Time. The Sports Coma will be 12 noon time on the Sports Coma own channel, the Great Saint Think Tank channel, and we will return again. And of course, we will definitely. We also have the Tough Tiger Talk popping in, so we're gonna be talking all damn day, pretty much. It's gonna be we're gonna be talking all day tomorrow. So y'all join in, and we'll see you. And we're gonna see you there, DC. Appreciate you, my man. You get you some sleep, brother, and we'll pop up here and do this thing tomorrow. Go flock to the rest of y'all, and we'll see y'all again later. Go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.